Hi everyone, I am Sean from Bid4Assets. Bid4Assets hosts two different types of auctions for the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office: tax foreclosure auctions and mortgage foreclosure auctions. In this video, we will be covering how to participate in tax delinquent and tax lien auctions. An additional video covering mortgage foreclosure auction procedures will be available in the description below. The first thing you'll need to do to participate in these or any of the auctions available on Bid4Assets is register for a free Bid4Assets account if you haven't done so already. There are no monthly fees required to maintain your account. It is completely free, and the registration process should only take a few minutes. To begin, you'll want to go to the top navigation bar here on Bid4Assets and select Sign Up. From there, you will be prompted to provide an email address and to create a password. That password will be what you use to log into your Bid4Assets account, as well as confirm bids. So be sure to make it something you feel confident you will remember. From there, you'll need to provide some basic contact information, confirm your phone number, and finally log into your email account and confirm the email address that you've placed on file to complete registration. Bid4Assets has a video walking you through every step of this process. You can access that video by going to bid4assets.com/videos. You'll see we've got many videos here walking you through the various steps of a Bid4Assets auction, including back here at the top, how to register for an account. Once you've created your account, the next thing you'll want to do is visit the relevant landing page for the Philadelphia Sheriff sale that you're interested in. You can do this in a few ways, depending on if you're trying to access tax foreclosure auctions, mortgage foreclosure auctions, or both. The quickest way to access both sales from the Bid4Assets homepage is to go over here to the left and select Philadelphia Sheriff Sales underneath Specialty Channels. Doing this will bring you to this landing page, displaying a message from Philadelphia Sheriff Rochelle Below. Below that, you'll find the option to go ahead and select either tax foreclosure auctions or mortgage foreclosure auctions. For this video, we are taking a look at tax foreclosure auctions. So let's go ahead and select that option. The first thing I want to direct your attention to here on this landing page is the display up top, which says sales date. Philadelphia will typically host 4 different types of tax foreclosure auction on Bid4Assets each month. Selecting the Sales Date tab will display a list of dates for upcoming sales, and selecting one of those dates will display the list of properties currently slated to go to auction on that date. So when I select April 9th, you'll see that it displays a list of properties scheduled to go to auction on that date. And once you've selected your property list, you can go through and navigate the list using the arrows here at the bottom. And the arrows at either end here will take you to the last page on the list or the first page on the list, respectively. Selecting the Show Available Auctions Only box ensures that you only see auctions that are still scheduled to move forward. Now, to the right of the property list, you'll see that you can search by book/writ, you can search properties by OPA, by auction ID number, or by keyword. So, for example, if you were looking for a particular property on Main Street, you could enter the word Main in the keyword search box, and it would filter down to only display auctions that contain that word. Another way to quickly view lists of properties available for any given sale date is to download them as an Excel spreadsheet. You can do this by going ahead and selecting the download a property list display located next to the sales date tab. Make sure that you're logged into your account. When you go and do this, you will see that your page refreshes and you're given once again the option to select the date of whichever auction you want to bid in. Once you've selected your property date, you can just click download and it will generate a spreadsheet of the auctions available in that sale. And once again, selecting the show available auctions only box here ensures that you only see auctions still scheduled to move forward by removing any auctions that have been stayed or postponed from the list. And you'll see here that the spreadsheet gives you a ton of useful information to use when performing your due diligence. It gives you the sales date, it gives you the minimum bid for the property, the attorney's office assigned to any given property, its OPA number, as well as its address. All fantastic information to have when doing your due diligence. Now, all Philadelphia sheriff sale auctions will require a deposit to qualify for participation. When submitting a deposit, keep in mind that each auction date is treated as its own event. So if you wanted to participate in Philadelphia's April 9th sheriff sale, then you would only need to send in a single bid deposit, and it would qualify you to bid on every single property being auctioned on April 9th. However, if you wanted to bid on auctions, say in Philadelphia's April 14th sale, the April 21st sale, any of these later sale dates, then you would need to submit a new bid deposit for each new sale date. So the rule is one deposit for one sale date, but that one deposit allows you to bid on every auction opening on that sale date. Another thing to note is that if you submit a deposit, but you end up either not bidding or not winning any property, then you will have the option to transfer that deposit over to Philadelphia's next sale. You can do this after the auction directly from your Bid4Assets account by going to the My Bid Deposit section. So how do you actually submit a deposit? Well, deposits should be sent directly to Bid4Assets, and there are two methods available for you to do this. They are certified check and wire transfer. To get started, just go to the auction page for a property that you would like to bid on. And one of the first things that you'll see is an orange button that reads, click here for deposit instructions. Now, go ahead and select this, and it'll initiate the process for obtaining my instructions. Once again, you want to make sure that you're logged into your account. Now, this is important. When you go and do this, this screen will not be the first thing that you see. Before you obtain instructions for submitting your deposit, note that you'll be prompted to provide your Social Security number in compliance with the U.S. Patriot Act if this is your first time submitting a deposit with Bid4Assets. After that, you'll be prompted to provide pre-vesting information detailing how you'd like any potential property that you win to be titled. Once again, Bid4Assets has a video walking you through every step of this process. You can access this video by going to bid4assets.com/videos. So once Bid4Assets receives your deposit, it will be processed and you'll be notified via email and your Bid4Assets message center once you've been cleared to bid. If you win an auction, then your deposit will be applied to your final payment. But if you don't, as I mentioned before, you'll have the option to transfer it over to Philadelphia's next sale. If you choose not to do this, then your deposit will be refunded to you via a principal e-check that will come to the email address linked to your Bid4Assets account within 10 business days after the auctions close. Now let's take a closer look at an individual auction page and talk a little bit about due diligence. The auction page has any available information that the sheriff's office can provide to assist you in your due diligence. Neither the sheriff nor Bid4Assets will have any additional information on the condition of the property or its title, including whether the property is free of any liens. It's very important that you complete your own due diligence before bidding on a property. This includes assessing the condition and value of the property, as well as any relevant information on the property's title status. Both the sheriff and Bid4Assets would recommend that you consult with an attorney before purchasing property from a sheriff sale. Bid4Assets CEO led a webinar on how to research tax sale properties, which includes lots of helpful tips and resources. You can find that video once again by going to bid4assets.com/videos. A little bit further down, Due Diligence, a guide to researching tax sale properties with Bid4Assets CEO. Again, it's a great resource. Now, back on the landing page, something that you may have noticed is that many of the available properties here say pending when you check their minimum bids. In fact, this auction says awaiting minimum bid. So why is this? The reason for this is that Philadelphia County actually hosts different types of tax foreclosure sales. Tax collection sales are often associated with a couple of law firms that support the Philadelphia sheriff, and they need to calculate the minimum bids closer to the auction date. For the tax delinquent property auctions, you'll see that the minimum bids will always be set at $1,600. Keep in mind that when you're researching a property and thinking about the minimum bid, you should ideally try to already know the maximum amount that you're willing to bid on a property before it opens for bidding. This is a vital part of preparing for a public auction, and it's one of the reasons that individual research is so important when you're participating in sales of this type. So once this auction opens, you can go in and start bidding. You can do this in one of two ways. You can either bid along manually in small increments, in the case of tax foreclosures, $100, or you could go in and place a bid for the maximum amount that you're willing to pay for the property, and let that serve as your proxy bid. In that case, Bid4Assets' automated system would bid up to that maximum on your behalf. Our system will ensure that you do not need to bid more than is necessary to beat the second highest bidder by one bid increment. In other words, placing your proxy bid is similar to having a number in your head when you go to a live auction, and the system will bid up to that amount on your behalf, but not over it. So with all of that in mind, let's talk a little bit about post-auction procedures and settlement terms. An auction settlement terms outline the amount of funds due and the timelines for payment in an auction. Throughout the lead up to the sale, an auction settlement terms will be accessible both from the sale's general landing page and on every single individual auction page in the sale. We strongly encourage you to familiarize yourself with the settlement terms, as you must have the funds available to meet the payment timelines outlined in them, or you will be in default and forfeit your deposit. Another function to be aware of during the post-sale is the second bidder system. If an auction closes with you as its second highest bidder, you will receive an email alert notifying you that you have the option to become a second bidder for the auction. What this means is that after the original winning bidder does not complete the purchase, if that happens for whatever reason, you would become the auction's new winning bidder. In this scenario, you would purchase the property for the original winning bidder's purchase price. As soon as an auction closes, you can view the auction while logged in, and if you are the second highest bidder, you will see the option to accept or reject your second bidder offer. This option will remain until 30 minutes after the final auction in the batch closes. If the winning bidder defaults, you would then need to have the funds ready to complete the sale. So be sure not to accept more second bidder options than you have funds available to complete. When every auction in the sale closes and the 30-minute window for the second bidder offer expires, you will be notified whether you have won any of the auctions where you placed a bid. One final feature to be aware of is overtime. If bidding is still going on in the final minutes of the auction, then our clock will reset to 5 minutes remaining, and it will continue to reset that way as bids are placed in the auction. It will continue until 5 minutes have passed and no bids have been placed. It's only at that point that the auction will end. If you still have not received a post-auction email alerting you on the properties that you've won a half hour past closing time, it's likely that the bidding is continuing through overtime, or the second bidder timeframes have not fully expired yet. You can also check your Bid4Assets message center to see whether any post-auction emails have been sent there, as they will be copied and placed in your message center when they go out. Now, if you don't win any auctions, then no action is required on your part, unless you want to roll over your bid deposit as previously stated. And you can do that from your Bid4Assets account by visiting the My Bid Deposit section. Winning bidders will have to fund the remainder of 10% of their winning bids, plus Bid4Assets 10% buyer's premium by the close of business the day after the auction. Your post-auction email will break down this amount for you in detail and provide you with wiring instructions for Bid4Assets escrow account. This will also be true of bidders who accept second bidder offers. Winning bidders will then have 15 days from the auction's close to fund the remainder of the balance due. Now, if you've won auctions, then you will also be able to access Bid4Assets Deed Wizard tool. Deed Wizard will confirm your vesting information for the deeds and display the settlement instructions for you to complete your payment. If you need to change the pre-vesting information that you provided, please contact the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office about submitting an assignment of bid form. Once the 15-day settlement deadline has passed, Bid4Assets will submit all the funds and deed vesting or titling information to the sheriff. And at that point, the county will begin preparing your deeds to complete the sale. So, to recap some key points. To participate in a tax foreclosure auction on Bid4Assets, Philadelphia County, you are going to want to take the following steps. 1, register a free Bid4Assets account. 2, visit the landing page for Philadelphia tax foreclosures on Bid4Assets and select the auction date you are interested in. Download a list of available properties to select the auctions that you want to bid on. 3, obtain deposit instructions for the auction or auctions that you wish to bid on. Remember that one deposit qualifies you for an entire sale and all of the properties available in it. 4, thoroughly research the properties that you intend to bid on and place your bids when the auctions open. Additionally, read the auction's terms of sale and settlement terms ahead of time, and be sure that you have the funds ready to complete the sale on any auction that you win. And finally, 5, if you are a successful bidder, then follow the instructions in your post-auction email to complete settlement. Remember, public auctions can be complex transactions, so do your due diligence prior to bidding and consult with an attorney ahead of the sale. Bid4Assets is here to help with live customer service over 40 hours a week, so always feel free to reach out to us by going to bid4assets.com/contact. You can also obtain our contact information by going back to the top navigation bar and selecting Contact Us. Doing this will take you to a page which will give you our customer service team's email address and phone number. Always feel free to reach out to us. Until then, we hope this video was helpful for you, and we wish you the best of luck in your next auction on Bid4Assets. Take care.